Hello everyone and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. Today we explore Warrior I. In terms of the benefits of this posture, well, it's really great for strengthening our legs, our feet, the core, the glutes, and it also works on balance. It does require full mind and body awareness, so therefore focus and concentration will be very important in today's practice. No props are required today, just bring your inner warrior with ya to the mat. Alrighty, let's get moving. Howdy friends. So there are a few different ways in which we can transition into Warrior I. We could start off in a mountain pose, or we can transition from runner's lunge to Warrior I. So that is what we're going to be doing today, starting off with a nice little runner's lunge. The reason why I like to start off with this pose is because it really offers a lovely stretch for our lower half of our body, such as our hips and our legs, and it helps to strengthen the feet. So you can kind of look at it as a warm-up before we enter Warrior I. 2 poses, 1 video bonus. Okay, so step your left foot towards the top of your mat and send that right foot back behind you. Plant your toes on the mat, keep your heel raised. So before we really get into the full expression of a runner's lunge, let's just take a look at some key action points. So my left leg, it has a nice little bend in it, okay? So our knee is in line with our ankle here. You'll also notice that my feet, they're not in one straight line. This is like a tightrope. Woo, too wobbly. So when we're in warrior, we really want to keep our balance and stability, right? So I like to keep my feet at an angle towards one another. So perhaps you give that a try. It offers a little bit more stability there. Okay, so let's begin to hinge forward at our hip, melting our belly towards the top of our thigh and releasing our hands to the mat. So I like to keep my fingertips on the mat. Some of you may be able to plant your palms firmly on the mat just because of my anatomy. It doesn't really work for my body that well. All right, so let's just take 2 breath cycles here, just stretching it out. Okay, awesome. Now let's lift that back foot away from the mat, planting it a little bit closer to our front foot. Let's all just rise up together so that way we are all on the same page as to what our back foot will be doing. Okay, so right now our back toes are pointing towards the front edge of our mat. We want to press our whole foot, the full foot into the mat. So how we're going to do this is let's just plant our foot on the mat and our toes are going to be pointing towards a corner of the room and our heel is pointing out. So it's turned out. Our back leg here is straight, so it's like really working hard in this posture. So we are also pressing into all 4 corners of our foot, meaning the top of our foot, the outer edge, the heel, as well as the inner arch. So this is really going to help us remain stable and steady in Warrior I. Same with the front foot as well, right? We want to press into all 4 corners of that foot as well. Okay, next, it is also pretty tricky to cue where that back foot should be positioned on the mat. And this is simply because we all have different bodies, which is awesome. So therefore, some of us may have a bit of a wider stance and some of us may be a little bit more narrow. Okay, oh, hello Angel. You want to become a warrior too? Okay, so now that we have established our lower half, what is our upper body doing? So let's bring our hands to the waistline. Rock your pelvis forward. You may also hear the cue, tuck your tailbone in. So basically what we're doing is we're really creating length in our back body here by doing that. Loop your shoulders up and down the back body. You may even want to play around with bringing your elbows a little bit closer together. So you're kind of like bringing those shoulder blades together. And really this helps create a nice little lovely opening in the chest. Tuck your chin in slightly. Crown of your head reaches towards the sky. One tendency that I just noticed, that's why I looked down really quickly, was that my knee, it likes to like move on out. So I'm just going to encourage us all just to be mindful of that leading knee, our front knee here, just keeping it in line with our ankle. It's all good. These are patterns, right? I'm okay with it. Okay, next stop. What else is our upper body doing? So in Warrior One, we really want to square our hips off so that way they're facing the front edge of our mat. So here's how I like to cue this, or a good little visual that we can all use. Take some honey, some peanut butter, some jam, whatever you like to put on your toast. Smear it across your rib cage like so. So now we are really pointing our front body towards the front edge of our mat. So give it a try. It takes time, practice, and patience to really square off those hips. So if you're not quite there yet, all good. Okay, embrace where you are today. Just want to acknowledge that. So remember, as we do this, really press into that back foot. It's gonna wanna like lift, come onto the inner arch. Again, patterns, all good. Okay, bend into your front knee a little bit more. So again, we are stacking our knee over top of our ankle. You may have to make some adjustments here. You may also notice that when we are in Warrior One, we are definitely in a much more narrow stance as opposed to when we are in Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, our stance is like, woo, super wide. Okay, we can really bring that thigh almost parallel to the mat. But in Warrior One, it's a little bit more narrow. And plus our hips are also squared to the front edge of our mat. So that does change it up a little bit. Okay, now the hands, the arms. Let's all take a deep breath in together. And an exhale out. On your next breath in, send the arms up and overhead, palms facing towards each other. Keep ample space. There's no need to like zip on up. Keep space, it's all good. Maybe sink a little bit deeper into that front leg. Perhaps you want to experiment with looking up, getting a little bit of a slight back bend in there. And just breathe. It's a hard work. You got this. And on your next breath out, float the hands down. Let's now melt our upper body, our belly towards our thigh. Plant the palms on the mat, and we're gonna begin a slow journey over to the other foot, our right foot. So we're turning on the mat and we're finding a runner's lunge on the opposite side now. Pretty cool. So again, our right knee now is in line with our ankle here. And our toes, our back toesies, planted on the mat, heel raised. Stretch it out. Find any kind of like organic movement that feels good for your body. I like to do a little bit of like a rock back and forth. And when you feel satisfied, bring that back foot a little bit closer to your front leg. Rise up so that way we can look at what our back foot is doing once again. Turn your toes in slightly, again, so that way they're facing a corner of the room. Heel pointed out, back leg nice and straight and strong. So you may notice that this side feels a little bit different, maybe a little bit wonkier. It's all good. So I'm just gonna adjust my stance a little bit more. Okay, bring your hands to the waistline. Rock that pelvis forward, creating length in our back body. Loop your shoulders, tuck your chin in slightly, and take your honey. I'm gonna take honey this time. And smear it across the rib cage, squaring off the hips so that way now they're pointing towards front edge of your mat, which was your back edge before. Oh, jeez. Okay. Bend into that front leg, so your right leg here. Make any adjustments as needed. Smile. Life is good. Okay, awesome. So let's now experiment with bringing the hands up and overhead. Maybe this time you do want to try more narrow stance up here. I like to take a steeple grip sometimes, so my index finger's pointing towards the sky. Take a little bit of a back bend here. Whew. Just checking it out. Perhaps sink a little bit deeper. I don't know about you, but I'm like trembling. That's great though, because that's energy flowing through our bodies. Let's take one more deep breath in together and empty it out. And as you empty it out, rain the fingertips down. Bring your hands perhaps to prayer position this time. Melt your upper body towards your thigh. Hands come to the mat, plant your palms, and step your right foot back to meet your left foot. I think I just tricked us. We are in plank. 3 poses, 1 video. What? Amazing. Lower down onto your knees. Swing your legs off to one side. Whew. Take a little bit of a breather. Let's all take another deep breath in together and empty it out. You did an awesome job today. Thank you so much for joining me. So that was Warrior One, such a powerful and strength building posture. This pose is one that you will likely encounter in a number of your yoga classes. And although it is regarded as a beginner posture, I have to acknowledge that this pose is actually quite challenging. So if you did find it challenging, you are not alone, okay? So no worries there. Be loving and kind and patient with yourself. Continue to grow this posture. It does take time. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Yoga with Rachel channel. It is the best way to support free yoga content for all. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Share this video with someone that you believe would benefit from exploring this posture. You are amazing. Thank you so very much. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.